Arun Raj.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about yourself.
Sir, I recently graduated from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and I graduated in the field of chemistry. And I have taken the subject anthropology and written the civil service exam in my first attempt, sir. And I'm sitting for the interview today.
Arun,
Yes, sir.
father is in police.
Yes, sir.
So you are given your service option, administrative first.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain? You don't like police service or you are some other reason?
No, sir, it is an Indian police service is an excellent service. But it is true that the Indian administrative service has much greater diversity and a lot of career opportunities are present there. And I have given that as my first preference. But if I get IPS, I will happily take it, sir.
So you tell something about your schooling.
Yes, sir. I have done my 10th standard and 12th standard in Chennai. My 10th I was done in Bhavan Strategy Vidyashram, which is it's a very good school in Chennai. And my 12th standard was done in DAV Boys School, Gopalapuram.
Can you tell briefly about DAV?
Yes, sir.
DAV school, where it was started. Do you have any idea about it?
Yes, sir. I do have some idea about it. It was started in 1886 by Lala Hansraj, sir, in the memory of Swami Dayanand Saraswati in Lahore. It was to spread the teachings of, it was in memory of the teachings of the Swami Dayanand Saraswati, sir.
Recently, there is a lot of controversy, allegations, counter allegation about sharing of water,
Yes, sir.
river water.
Yes, sir.
So you are from Tamil Nadu. So what is your take on this Mullaperiyar issue?
Sir, yes, sir. There has been a lot of problems in the Mullaperiyar about the Mullaperiyar dam recently, and there have been issues of raising the height of the dam, sir. And it is not good to raise the height that Tamil Nadu is demanding that the height of the dam be raised. But it is the fact that the dam is a very old one, sir. So if actually the height is raised, there are a lot of poor farmers and a lot of families dependent on such farmers in that area, sir. If a natural disaster happens or a leak in or a flood happens, then there will be no one to
But
take.
Arun, you are aware that this decision to raise the river,
Yes, sir.
that barrage,
Yes, sir.
the barrage,
Yes, sir.
it is actually the formal concurrence and approval.
Yes, sir.
It was given by Supreme Court
Yes, sir.
after hearing a high-level technical committee,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
which is actually headed by a lot of scientists from Central Water Commission.
Yes, sir.
So you mean that you need to question their wisdom?
No, sir, it is not about questioning the wisdom of the Supreme Court. Yes, there was a technical committee. But, sir, we have to see in the light of recent incidents. Like, for example, the Uttarakhand floods in 2011, or even recently the Nepal earthquake. It was an earthquake, but such natural disasters, man is nothing in the face of nature, sir.
So you mean to say that you should not go for this any hydro projects or irrigation projects?
No, sir, it is, I did not say that. Just that precautions must be taken.
If you take precaution, then there won't be any development.
No, sir, I mean precautions can be taken and to make sure that there is sustainable development.
No, how you are saying precisely that in Mullaperiyar dam, if we raise the barrage level, there is going to be a disaster.
Because of the fact that it is a very old dam, sir. So if a new dam is constructed of such increased height, then it would not be a problem. But
There are many dams. You know that Bishop Cotton. Heard him? Bishop Cotton.
yes, sir, I have heard about it.
Arthur Cotton.
Yes, sir.
The Jesharam barrage. So it is also as well as in fact it is enterprise was it's not even this is not so much sturdy when compared to Mullaperiyar. But still it is catering to demand of almost 4 districts of Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
So what exactly actually making you think that this dam is unsafe?
Sir, I am just concerned about the life of those poor people who are present in that
The
area.
concern should be based on some kind of scientific principles, some kind of
Yes, sir.
facts and parameters.
Yes, sir.
So you are privy to such kind of parameters.
The technical details are that I know that for a fact that the dam is very old, and there can be a possibility of natural disasters occurring in that area, and so let us take a safer side.
That you know that this place is where exactly the dam is located.
Yes, sir.
It is not as much vulnerable as Himalayas or actually Blue Virgin Mountains. It is technically stable. It's in peninsular India.
Okay.
No doubt there are some fault plains in the Western Ghats,
Yes, sir.
but it's not so much vulnerable. And considering this area, it is there for more than a century. There are many such dams. There are many scientific, that is civil engineering principles, which makes it very clear that one can comfortably have even 500 years also.
Okay, okay.
So if that is the case, actually, why you are so much concerned about what is it?
Sir, the reason is that in case a disaster happens, then poor people will lose their lives, and who is going to take care of the women or the children who is left behind by such a disaster? And we know that nature is very unpredictable. If there is a huge rainfall in 1 year in that area, then the poor farmers will suffer. Their lands will be submerged. So I am just concerned about that, sir.
Before submitting the report, it is almost 2 decades or so, this controversy is there. Before submitting this report to Supreme Court, this expert committee,
Yes, sir.
who are actually authority on foundation engineering,
Yes, sir.
they were collecting a lot of data based on various experiments. And afterwards, they pronounced that this dam is sound, it's safe for raising this level. And they also given catch also, not beyond this level also they given. So when that is the case, so you need to see that so whatever the little data you are having, then you think it's unsafe. We should not go for it. We should not put the life of men in danger.
Sir, of course, I will have to read the report for the technical details, sir. But maybe they have raised some objections on. There may be some slight possibility of risk, which they tell in the report. And I think we should not take a risk with the lives of people. That is what my question, sir.
Then we should never go for any such kind of development projects, especially in places like Himalayas, like Nepal. There are many projects. Many hydro projects are constructed by India in Nepal as a goodwill. Okay, coming to the point. Recently, there is a real catastrophic as well
Yes, sir.
in Nepal.
Yes.
So India, within few hours, we reacted. We responded to the crisis. And finally, is that many times there will be disaster in our own country. We take some time, days, months also to respond to it. We don't do so much of seriousness. Do you think it is actually really required to respond to a neighboring country with so much of prominence?
Sir, people are the same everywhere, sir. I mean, now that India has taken the lead in helping such poor people in Nepal, it has built a lot of goodwill in that region, and it has taken the leadership role also in evacuating such poor people from Nepal. And of course, what you said is right. We should respond with the same alacrity whenever such a disaster happens in our own country as well. But we can use this experience, sir, and do the same whenever, if a future disaster happens in our own country.
It's an interesting profile, but I would, there's a shift from chemical engineering to anthropology. What made you to choose this subject?
Sir, when I was in Kanpur, I came into contact with a...
Is it just to score more marks or?
Sir, that was part of my strategy, yes. I would not say no about it. But when I was in Kanpur, I came into contact with a professor of anthropology in Allahabad University, and that increased my interest in the subject, sir.
We've also been talking about development and tribal people,
Yes, sir.
displacement, all those issues. Like, to what extent you are aware of the various movements which fight for the cause of displaced people?
Sir, recently there was a movement in central India, in Niyamgiri Hills, against the many development iron ore plants which are being constructed there.
So do you think they are right in their argument?
Which side are you asking about, sir?
So the movement. from
The
Nepal?
tribal
The
movement. Sir, they are not against the project as such. They want proper livelihood opportunities for them, sir. So they are not against the project if it actually gives them proper employment opportunities after it. So they just want proper land rehabilitation. They don't just want to be evicted from their land, and they want the promises to be upheld. That's it, sir.
But at the same time, you also have to take care of the development needs of the country, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how would you, like, if you are, given that situation, how would you handle it?
If I'm being the district administrator of that region, sir, there should be proper public hearing to make sure that the other side opinions is heard by the government.
Do you think that government does not do that now?
No, sir, the government does do that. It does it with the involvement of Gram Sabhas and the local government institutions. And there needs to be a proper forum for hearing these redress grievances. And there also should be the position where the...
And we've also been talking about disaster management. Like, do you think is the Indian government mechanism is fully prepared to face or address if such disaster situation takes place?
Yes, sir.
What has happened in Nepal?
Yes, sir. What has happened in Nepal, India has taken the good role, sir.
Okay, but if same thing happens in India, or do you think are we fully prepared?
Like recently there was a cyclone in Orissa, sir. Violent cyclone was there.
Are there any
And,
programs at the national level? The Government of India has introduced some program.
Government of India Disaster Management Program, sir. Sir, there is a National Disaster Response Force which has been created recently, and steps are being taken to increase the strength of that force.
So what kind of steps they are taking?
To make sure that first of all the funds which are given to that agency is trying to increase it, and the manpower is being trained more, and there is to
Technically,
increase.
are we competent to face such disasters? Even any kind of disaster situation.
Technically, like we saw in the case of Women also, sir, recently, when the external agencies like the army.
How would you critically look at it, like, as being an engineer?
Yes, sir.
Because you have studied engineering or
Sir, I studied science.
science,
Yes.
Chemistry.
Chemical.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Because you may have some idea about engineering, like being
Yes, sir.
a
Yes, sir.
scientist. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are we technically competent or technically equipped to deal with the situation?
Sir, we need to improve a lot more.
In what
we-
aspect?
In the aspect of the response time must be lesser, sir, and there should not be a time lag, so that if there is a time lag, the people who are affected by such disasters, they may feel troubled, and in not getting the
So in
enough.
your state after the tsunami, like, are there any concrete programs introduced by your state? Are you aware of such programs?
After the tsunami of the early 2000s, sir, there have been rehabilitation programs introduced by.
With respect to responding to such situations.
Yes, sir. So you are
I'm
asking.
not talking about the rehabilitation of the affected people.
Okay, sir.
If such situation arises,
Yes, sir.
how would your state mechanism respond?
If a situation of a tsunami comes in. Sir, after the tsunami, it was a new experience. After a very long time, a tsunami had occurred in the state of Tamil Nadu, and after that, technology has been used, sir, to
What kind
make
of technology?
the technology of, for example, satellite tracking and some
Are you fully aware of that? Satellite tracking?
satellite tracking of cyclones are being used, sir. But tsunami,
Is it in place?
sir,
Is it in place now? I'm not.
I am not aware of whether Tamil Nadu government has replaced or not.
Okay,
sir.
that's all. Maybe after tsunami, like, have we learned new lessons?
Yes, sir. I have come to know from newspaper reports that they're installing buoys in the middle of the ocean to monitor the level of the sea. Yes, sir. They have done that.
So what do you categorize this kind of steps?
Yes, sir.
There are three domains in disaster management. This one, what domain you want to give? One is prevention,
Yes, sir.
then mitigation.
Yes, sir.
Mitigation takes place after this one. And when disaster taking place, responding to it. So the first one that what is the boys in the ocean.
Yes, sir.
So what do you want to categorize in? Which domain?
Boys will come under prevention, sir.
Prevention.
Yes, sir.
The there should be even forewarning and then educating the patient, sensitizing
Yes, sir.
about disaster.
Yes, sir.
That's basically prevention stage.
Yes, sir.
The disaster response is not just only responding to disaster.
Yes, sir.
And responding to disaster is a very bad management. One should go for prevention, education and awareness. Then afterwards only comes to mitigation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You mentioned that you are fond of writing blog. What kind of blog do you write?
Sir, I write mostly about current affairs or issues, and also I read a lot of books. In my free time, I mostly go for reading books.
Tell something about what is something in your mind about something which is happening in the current. Tell something current.
In the current affairs.
Yeah, was something you written about in a blog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what did you written?
Sir, recently I wrote about the red sandal smuggling incident which happened in Andhra Pradesh, and I gave my position on that issue, sir.
So why do you think that this example is such a big problem, burning issue, and so much of smuggling taking place, and then we are law enforcement agency, they are not able to combat this problem?
Sir, there was I just read newspaper reports on that issue, and there was a tribe which was affected by this shooting, sir. It was a Malayali tribe called Kalrayan tribe, and I just wrote a post about it, and prima facie it just appears from newspaper reports that it does appear to be a fake encounter from the newspaper reports, sir. I still do not know the side of the police, which has not come out, but I just wrote that question, sir.
As a person aspiring to be a officer in the making, so suppose if you are given the charge of that same district where this incident took place, what are the steps which you may take to curb this menace?
Menace of fake encounters, sir.
Not fake encounter, the overall the game of excess smuggling and the so-called fake encounter.
Sir, first of all, since I wrote about that incident, I had come out with an opinion that the poor people who are who had gone to smuggle, they should not have been shot. The people who had organized and made such people to go out and smuggle such forest goods, they must have been caught and prevented from doing this. After the shooting, they are leaving behind poor widows and poor children who have no one to take care of them right now. So, looking at it from the human side, the people who are organizing this should be prevented from doing it. So.
See, just because this red center is maybe something, it's not a right thing to, lawfully it is not right
Yes, sir.
to harvest a red center food and export it.
Yes,
So
sir.
law is responsible for this crime. Suppose if you legalize it, India can earn several million, if not billions.
Okay,
So
sir.
there is a big demand in China and Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Why don't we go for this as a bureaucrat in the making? If you are given the charge, you should legalize this thing. Don't you feel it's the right decision?
Sir, are you asking about legalizing this?
Yeah, reusing the red center this thing.
Okay. This may lead to a lot of cutting off such forests. In that case, I think it would not be a good idea to legalize such cutting off this red sanding.
Anyway, they are cutting so many other trees. This case is which is at a price.
Yes, sir.
Red center, one metric ton, if you know how much it gives, the market rate, Indian market rate is 90 lakh rupees.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So, last time in Andhra Pradesh, they auctioned, one-time auction. They got nearly 3,700 crores. It's a big, whatever the debt they had for almost 11 years by paying school teachers, all the school teachers their salary, everything, except for excise department, everybody is loss making. So they are written off all the debt. So if that is the case, if the one state can benefit with this kind of trade by legalizing it, by auctioning it and then selling it overseas, why can't we do that?
The state has, I would have to refer to how they made such revenue, sir. I have not come across
Well,
this
my question
article
is
before.
that the red seller is available in the state, in the forest. There is a big demand for this in some part of Asia. And people are actually illegally cutting and exporting. It's not legal. by legalizing it, actually whatever the red sander they got, which is in a government custody as a confiscated property, they auctioned it. This it got huge chunk of revenue for the government,
Okay, sir.
Andhra Pradesh government. So when that is the case, even Karnataka also got benefited. When that is the case, what prevents the state from legalizing it?
Sir, the state can legalize such a measure, but maybe with limits on cutting of the forest. Sir.
So why do you try to limit this thing? Why do you want to legalize? Why? See, when you, is there any cut on, is there any ban on cutting some kind of tree like neem or something? Why this tree around?
Sir, there is no ban on cutting off a tree like neem, but if there are tree resources in a forest, there are some bans on cutting of such forest. Sir. So in the same way,
You heard about this biodiversity and then gene bank and then species which is on the verge of extinction. You heard
Sir,
about
yes, sir.
You are from Tamil Nadu,
Yes, sir.
but you have opted for Uttar Pradesh as a state, no? You
Yes,
have
sir.
opted for Uttar Pradesh.
Sir, I was brought up by my mother's sister, whose husband is an Indian police service officer in Uttar Pradesh cadre. And this was the reason why I taken IIT Kanpur as well, sir. In spite of getting institutes like IIT Madras or IIT Bombay, I had taken it up since it was in Uttar Pradesh.
How does state of UP differs from Tamil Nadu?
Sir, the state of UP, looking at it from a development side, it is lower on the development scale than Tamil Nadu, sir. And there are a lot of problems like power cuts are there, law and order problem is there, and recently there have been incidents of this caste politics also is present in India, sir. And of course it is present in Tamil Nadu as well, but on a smaller scale, sir.
You belong to Tirunelveli. There are a lot of negative reports about Tirunelveli.
Sir,
A lot of caste clashes, communal clashes. Caste clashes are there.
sir.
What are the main reasons for it?
The main reason
Why
for
does it take place only in Tirunelveli districts, Tamil Nadu? Not so prevalent in other districts.
Okay, sir. Sir, the caste clashes in Tirunelveli district are between the are majorly between the castes of Nadar, Devar, and some underprivileged castes like scheduled castes, sir. And there have been some one-off incidents recently in Tirunelveli, like the killing of people who belong to the other caste, and this has led to a roller coaster kind of incidents in which, to take revenge, the other castes are killing the people from the opposite caste as well, sir. And there was the DGP of our state, DGP of Tamil Nadu went to that area, and he held a forum where he instructed the law and order personnel to have a strict hand in dealing with such incidents.
Who is the CM of Tamil Nadu?
Recently it is O. Paneerselvam, sir.
What is neutrality
Sir, neutrality, are you referring to it in the form of
for a civil
service?
servant? Yeah.
A civil servant must not ally himself with any particular political party, sir. And he must not ally himself with any particular religion. And he must not ally himself with any particular caste, sir.
So a civil servant can always be aligned with one side, that is public. From whatever I infer from your answers to the questions that they were asking,
Sir.
you seem to be more a people person, public person, not the government side. But you seem to be taking more the people's side.
Sir, no, sir. It is not like that. Of course, I was looking at it from in the other questions, I was looking at it from the people's point of view, that poor people may be affected. But I had...
So what two things you will do to champion the cause of the poor people in India?
To champion the cause of poor people as a general in India.
Yes, in general.
Okay. First of all, the focus should be on education, sir. Right now, a lot of the population is very young right now, and they need proper education. And we can look at it from a health perspective as well. And nearly 45 to 50% of our children are malnourished.
So what will you do to effectively execute the right to education?
The Right to Education Act 2009 had provisions where poor children, nearly 25% of our schools quota must go for such underprivileged children. And many schools are probably breaching it, and we can find incidents where such breaches are occurring and righted.
So what is the major problem there today?
major problem in
With
RT.
respect to right to education.
I just know of that one transgression, sir. I do not remember the other provisions.
So what are those obstacles in, people accessing the right to education? Do you think that Indian society is, especially the children in Indian society are able to easily have access to the right to education? Are there not any other factors in the Indian society which is preventing them from having access to it?
Yes, sir. It is true that the quality of certain schools and in certain areas are much more than the quality of schools in other areas. So there is a lot of diversity in the quality of education which is available to our young people, and we can make sure that we can increase the quality of such.
What is a live-in relationship? Do you think it is an extension of the tribal practice, being an anthropology student?
It can be seen, a particular point of view can see live-in relationships as an extension of old form of relationships.
What is that? What any anthropological practice which you can relate to live-in relationships?
Sir, there was an institution called Youth Dormitory
Okay.
in central India and as well as in northeast India, in which.
What is your stand on that live-in relationship? Is it right or wrong?
Sir, it is left to the couples, sir. I mean, if two willing people are willing to
What
come
should be the
together.
government stand, I'm asking?
Sir, the government can make sure that the government need not infringe on the two willing consents of two people, sir. It is a social sphere.
But the Supreme Court seems to be infringing on that.
Which decision are you referring to, sir?
About legalizing the live-in relationships and about the Supreme Court's decision that the government should deliberate on this and come up with the proper law on that.
Sir, I do not remember which decision was you are referring to in this.
So, are you not aware of the judgments given by at least 2 or 3 high courts legalizing or approving the live-in relationships?
Sorry, sir, I do not remember which decision you are referring to, sir.
So you are from IIT.
Sir.
Most of your friends or students know the number.
Sir.
So we used to call brain drain. What is your take?
Sir, yes, sir, it is true. Brain drain was a big issue in the 1960s and 1970s when the IITs were originally set up. But right now, what I feel is that we are witnessing a reverse brain drain, sir. In that people who are staying abroad, they are finding much greater opportunities in India, and they are seeing that India is developing a lot. I have met a lot of people, a lot of students, as well as my professors, who had much greater economic opportunities abroad, but they chose to come back to India. And I think this will change in the future also, sir. Many people want to come and stay in India.
So it is now this reverse direction, reverse brain drain. So your dad's name is Samudra Pandian.
Sir.
Tell me one favorite Pandian king, because you are from state of Tamil Nadu, and why you like that particular king?
I do not know much about the ancestry of Pandyan kings, sir. I have not read much about them.
So you do not know not even a single Pandian king.
Sorry, sir, no, sir.
Okay. What your district is Tirunelveli. So this Katchatheevu,
Sir.
once upon a time it was part of our country.
Sir.
Now most of your fishermen are going and they are getting firing there. Do you think we should get back the Katchatheevu?
Sir, Katchatheevu was given by the Indian government to the Sri Lankan government as a goodwill measure. And recently there was a report prepared by the Ministry of External Affairs by a person called Jody Cruz, who was the IAS Academy winner. And he has said that even if we get Katchatheevu back, the problems of fishermen being caught by Sri Lanka will not subside, because the issue is totally different. Why we want Katchatheevu is because we want the problems of the Indian fishermen being caught to lessen. So this will not solve the issue, sir. It was given back, and if we take it back right now, it would amount to a policy inconsistency.
Yes.
Okay, Arun, you did a very decent job.
So,
Your entry was good.
so
What are the positives I say? And there is nothing like negative. Overall, the performance is very good. So the same kind of performance, if I am doing, I will say through comfortable. Many positive attributes. But some of the things which I am going to say, but don't consider it some kind of negative attribute. This can be, if you could avoid it, is better. You can, it will have overall influence. Once you enter, you greet everyone. So don't give emphasis on only chairperson. Okay. And suppose if you are having a parasites, female person is there, first greet them, good morning or good afternoon, ma'am. First ignore chairman. If there is a lady, first greet them. Then you can greet chairman and scan through everyone. And when you are answering yes, question is posed by one person, you answer them and immediately you scan others also. But don't scan artificially. 4 times when each and every one of us are asking question. So if one positive thing which I found it is really good is people in the interview they appreciate it, because if you don't know something you are saying frankly, sir, I don't know, I am not aware.
Okay, sir.
That they will appreciate. Rather than actually telling something and then getting caught. Say, sir, I am not aware of it.
Okay, sir.
So that actually reflects the honesty and forthrightness of the candidate.
Okay, sir.
So very good positive thing. The way you address, because see most of the questions, almost 50% to 55% question will be on the profile.
Sir.
The board they will give 2 hours before they will give,
Sir.
and they lock up their members. So they will prepare questions based on the candidates and profile.
Sir.
You very nicely answered that why did you choose IAS when your dad is an IPS officer. You very well answered. About sleep, you had a serious, you very badly messed about Mullaperiyar. Okay, best thing is that you should not, whenever you answer anything, don't actually make a statement which you are not sure of. And most important thing is, see, your intention need manifest your concern for the general public.
Sir.
But that should be based on some scientific basis. So it cannot be a superstition. But if by saying that, it may appear that you are siding with some section, some part of the state. Because here you are not arguing on behalf of Tamil Nadu or Kerala. As an officer, you should be above all these things, state or language or religion, anything. So, although it is not sounding like that, but if you are saying that no, it is not exhaust 100 years old, there are many civil structures in the even IIT, so that can withstand. There is a place called Mount Steel in Europe. Okay, heard about it. Then some of the civil RCC structures they constructed not 500 years. They are planning for 1,500 years at least. That is such kind of structures also. So there is no such kind of. But when you are talking about it, you can talk on that, but not in that way.
Okay, sir.
Because you should be aware of that what is the pronouncement on the latest, like when he was asking about what the judgment and all, what is current trending you should know. And you mentioned about red sander.
Sir.
Very well answered, and then you told your diplomatic very nicely that based on media reporting, prime office it appears to be this thing. And it is not very good actually. That shows you are actually empathy for the poor tribal.
Sir.
That is, what is it? Kalra is actually this tribe. It's very simple chaps actually. I have actually interacted with them. So that is really good. That shows that how you are dispassionate, how you are neutral. And about when there is a discussion on right to education, you mentioned that you are having a what I should say, strategic outlook for the social transformation. Education is the biggest thing. That part very nicely articulated. Very simple point, but very nicely articulated. That's good. Everything is good. You can be slightly louder.
Okay, sir.
Be confident. If you're slightly, if you're uttering something, some words you are actually swallowing means people know.
Okay, sir.
Your shirt is slightly crumpled. Okay, son of a policeman, you should always get. That's very good. And I should say overall, it's an outstanding performance.
Okay, sir.
Except for small points which I mentioned.
Thank you, sir.
So one thing you're just laughing when you asked about chief minister of Tamil Nadu. That you should avoid.
Okay.
Okay. You should not cause any comment. It shows that
Yes,
Why you are asking this chief minister, no?
Yes, reflected
Sir,
to
Isn't it people say Jayalalitha? Some of the Jayalalitha.
but you may have opinion, but you shouldn't laugh. You should say
That's true.
professionally.
Some people say that, see, those people they say this thing, and And when we means Tamil Nadu, those who live in Kerala, such kind of utterance you should never make.
Yes.
You are consciously you avoid all this. And that is why I'm saying that yours is really good.
Police, can I give some?
Pardon?
Can I make some observation?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Arun, actually, the look is fine. I think you can shift to white shirt,
Okay. Yes, sir.
white and better coat.
White and?
Combi.
Okay, sir.
Then slightly cut your hair. cut your hair.
Free cut.
And you should be clean shaven. Clean shaven. Clean shaven.
To what observe sir சொன்னாங்க. அப்புறம் I would say like though you must have had said well on the red sandals, அது மாதிரி blog being போடுறது அவாய்ட் பண்ணுறது better actually.
Okay.
Because even government itself is not clear. There's still a dispute between Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, CBA, Parama, a lot of disputes. Why you want to get into that you have created blog on that?
Okay.
It's better to avoid that.
Okay.
And on many issues like development issues, you should be little cautious. As I said, like a balanced standard. Like, need not be like too pro-poor
Okay.
or pro-state.
Okay.
A balanced standard is better because don't get into such questions.
Okay, sir.
And some of my colleagues, they are on the board now. For example, one of my former professors, statistics. அவருக்கு like ரொம்ப so like what is it, introvert. Newspaper would press up but he develops question on the spot. So you have to even take care of those people actually. Don't think the people on the board like they are well informed and they are actually general knowledge will be very extensive. Very good. அவங்களுக்கு என்ன புரியுதோ அவங்களுடைய அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் they raise questions and normally they take cues only from the spot.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
They are not going to test you on knowledge.
That is it.
They are basically testing your attributes.
Sir.
What attributes? Are you confident? Are you a leadership quality? Can you be a good team worker? Are you above this all parochialism, regionalism, or state, or language? You are able to maintain your cool. You are having strong likings and dislikings. This will test.
Okay.
By and large, in that you perform very well.
Sir.
Because that is the main right.
Sir.
We are not testing your knowledge on red center. I think.
And so lastly, like the neutrality, I was asking about neutrality.
Sir.
And if you start answering on that question, an extension may be on net neutrality. People are talking about net neutrality. Please try to,
Sir.
if at all there's a question relating to that, they've also developed a question on net neutrality and arguments for against net neutrality.
Sir.
You should refresh your latest, like for example, net neutrality, that India's foreign policy outreach.
Yes, sir.
Every second day, third day, Modi is on to globe-trotting, and then the disaster which is taking place, the latest amendments and corruption provision.
Yes, sir.
Corruption basically
Because your dad
Yes,
is
sir.
in anti-corruption agency.
Yes.
That is one thing. I don't want to ask because too much of question already agreed on this law enforcement, and nobody would ask so much also.
Okay, sir.
Because you are only prepared. They may
10 to 12 minutes maximum. Sometimes they back up within 7 minutes also. If they are coming, so all the trains are known, they are not going to waste time, they will just go short.
Okay, sir.
That's so.
I saw you in the last interview. You are really scaled up. Truly.
Oh, this is the second.
Yeah, one of the boards I was there even before.
Last board he was overconfident.
Oh, yes.
So now he has been.
Yes,
now he
really
has been-
scaled up.
Hey, don't get scared and see, be what you are. Be what you are.
Okay, sir.
If you are actually revealing your true personality, you did everything well,
Okay.
except that this one. That is also I cannot say that. That shows your empathy for poor, but you should take a balanced.
We didn't have enough facts to substantiate, especially the same thing you were telling. Like we should not be increased. I didn't get any clarity on that. Very frankly, as a board member, I didn't get any clarity. So, like the way he had several facts to say, to counter your viewpoint. Similarly, you should have a view to counter. I mean, counter here means like whatever is your standpoint.
Okay.
Did not look very substantial with respect to Mullai.
You can counter also. See, don't get covered by board members. They are not actually fountain of wisdom.
Okay.
They are also like you. It's a question of 20, 30 years before we are born.
Experiences.
And 20, 30 years before accidentally we got it. So we are all like you only.
Sir.
Take it that way.
Okay, sir.
They are also as intelligent or as stupid as you are. The only thing is when you talk to it very nicely, in a civilized way, you talk, and suppose you are 100% convinced, in a very nice way list out the facts. Suppose if you feel that you are not so confident. See, yes, sir, I am not confident. You are, see, there are always
Okay.
the fourth right which is maximum this thing.
Okay, sir.
And only one question. Actually, you opted as UPS as state, no? Opted for UP.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But as far as service preferences, states is concerned, UP comes in 6th position. Tamil Nadu, then Karnataka, then
But he is given Tamil Nadu the first one.
Tamil Nadu is given first, and UP comes
Home
in 6th
state he
one.
is claimed as Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh.
This is a
Because he was brought up in his aunt's place.
Then you should have convincing and to prove you. Oh, you have went to UP, but you are not opted for UP. Either in first or even second, not even second. It comes to 6th.
Yes, sir. But because that was because I was brought up in UP, sir, by my mother's sister's husband.
That is okay. But that you have claimed. But then why did you opt for UP?
They will also come and settle down in Tamil Nadu after retirement, sir. So I thought I could leave it.
Okay, Tamil Nadu is first. Why did not second or third or fourth?
Why?
Some answer.
These board members also, they know that people, they want to have double this thing, you know.
Two-third one.
One is that you can get it as an outsider also.
Also outsider.
Outsider. That is what. You
The
can
last
frank
thing
in
is-
saying that. You can frank in saying that nothing, everybody knows that. You will not dodge aside. So that by saying that, see, on merit, Tamil Nadu is well and good. And if not, if I am saying the Tamil Nadu as a thing, certainly I will not get it. By saying UP as a thing, I can get this. You can say that.
Okay.
The rule provides for, you are not asking, you are not doing something illegal.
Yes, sir.
You are intelligent, that shows your intelligence.
So,
So nothing.
But accept it.
The literature again, it's hobby. You mentioned about English literature,
yes, sir.
and you also mentioned about Jodi Cruz novel. You read this novel?
Officers Academy, that novel, I have not read his novel, sir. I just took his position on
We
Katchatheevu.
were mentioning about that's what.
Yes, sir.
It should not be bits and pieces, right?
Okay, but yes, sir.
You can avoid such many references.
Or I will read
And
his
second
novel.
thing, this itself will probably, if there's a person with some
Yeah,
literature
literarians,
background,
yeah,
I mean, if they'll ask any question actually.
I have narrowed down the field because of that, sir. Indian English literature.
That is Indian English
Yeah.
literature,
English
that's fine.
literature, yes, sir.
You make it a point.
See, you should be thorough with one or two. This thing. They
Yeah,
ask
please.
English teacher, you pick up something. You
You
lead the fellow. So
Ah.
you drag him, you should be like
That's
this
what-
bus, okay.
Okay,
So I don't want to. So they will just test you. They will fire from each and everything is a sample shot. What is that? Whatever try to hobby. The law, current
Literature, very extensive area.
The general really, people generally in North India and especially even in Tamil Nadu also, uncivilized fellows they what is feeling they have. The caste violence, these are the, so you should talk as a sophisticated person who is above all these kind of this thing. So that is one thing. And it's good that you mentioned Jodi Cruz, actually that shows that is, especially it talks about that men who have the coastal Tamil Nadu, their life and that. And especially when you uttered about that Katchatheevu is not the real problem. The real problem is actually bottom trawling.
Yes, sir.
Bottom trawling is a real problem. And also both the fishermen, especially our cousins are actually totally indiscriminating exploitation, that is over exploitation of marine reserve.
Yes, sir.
And there is a conflict of this thing. That is why it is become unsustainable.
Sir.
Now we are going and plundering Sri Lankan side.
Yes, sir.
That how long it is, they are also having this thing. So one should go for a sustainable. This.
Yes, sir. That is why we have this holiday.
Yeah, you can briefly you can mention that.
Okay, sir.
That's all it is.
Yeah, he reflected all foundational values. We are above region. But in Kerala, issue is sir was asking one earthquake zone 3 it is there. And as if you are supporting Tamilians or your answer was actually you are supporting Kerala side, being a Tamilian. That's what you wanted to reflect, I suppose. But we were not clear because poor, other general people earthquake zone 3 plus technical parameters why it is unsafe. Read what Kerala blog is there. Kerala blog, Kerala side. ஏன் அது அன்சேஃப்னு ஒரு பெருசாக ஒரு லிஸ்ட் போட்டு வச்சுருக்காங்க அதையும் அப்படி படிச்சுக்கோங்க ஒரு வேலை இன்னொன்று இவர் உட்காந்துருல சார் உங்ககிட்ட பர்மிஷன் வாங்கிட்டு தான் உட்காந்தேன் ஏன்னா நான் பார்க்கல திடீர்னு பட்டாலும்
greet பண்ணாரு but அவர் corporate பண்ணாரு
that's what I thought
It's just come. Within few seconds somebody. Actually I am waiting for I should raise my hand. And before that you have to the options. Okay, it does happen.
I'll wait for some
But it is
time.
not a mistake, actually it does happen. See, all of us we do such kind of mistake. Everyone passed, it's a question of 20 years before